Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application, what was it? Today in History, what happened today in history? Sorry, I'm looking for my phone. Historical calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting that we've gathered throughout the show, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and today is July 5th, 2022. It is Tuesday, aka Tuesday. Tears' Day. Tuesday. Anyway, there is a minor chance of me having to cut the show abruptly because I'm expecting bee exterminators at some point. So anyway, let's get right into it. Anyway, 1687, Isaac Newton's great work Principia, published by Royal Society in England, outlining his laws of motion and universal gravitation. Newton's law of theory, or whatever, theory of, I don't know what I'm doing. Scatterbrain this morning. 1775, the Second Continental Congress drafted the Olive Branch Petition to King George III. Like the amount of times, we try to do all that stuff peacefully is just obscene, and people being people are just like, no, I don't want to give up my stuff, I don't want to share me. So we had to have a war. 1809, I don't know what -6 is. Battle of Wagram, Napoleon defeated Archduke Charles. 2 years later, in 1811, a Venezuelan Declaration of Independence, 7 provinces declared themselves independent from Spain. Good. Go Venezuela, at least back then. Today it's not so hot. 1852, Frederick Douglass, a fugitive slave, delivered his "What to the Slave is the 4th of July" speech to the Ladies' Anti-Slavery Society in Rochester, condemning the celebration as a hypocritical sham. Well, that is a good point of view. What is the 4th of July in the eyes of a slave? You don't have any reason to set the sky alight. 1912, Wimbledon women's tennis. God, I'm getting really tired of Wimbledon. English badminton champion Ethel Larcombe won her first and only major tennis title, defeating Charlotte Cooper 6-3 and 6-1. 1 year later, in 1913, Queen Wilhelmina met SDAP leader Troelstra. What is SDAP? Let's check that out. SDAP, 1913, SDAP. Social Democratic Workers' Party, the Netherlands? Is that right? I don't know. Anyway, moving on up into 1929, Wimbledon's women's tennis again. In the first all-U.S. final, Helen Wills Moody defeated Helen Jacobs 6-1, 6-2. 1932, Antonio de Oliveira Salazar became the premier and dictator of Portugal from 1932 through 1968. Wow, so that's 36 years right there, if my math is correct. He founded the authoritarian Estado Novo, the new state regime. Not good, dictatorship. 1934, Lou Gehrig hit record 17th career Grand Slam in Yankees' 8-3 win versus Washington, passing Babe Ruth's total. Oh man, poor Bambino. 365 days later, in 1935, Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed the U.S. National Labor Relations Act. And what does that do? Let me look that up here real quick. Let's see here. It protected workplace democracy by providing employees at private sector workplaces the fundamental right to seek better working conditions and designation or representation without fear of retaliation. Oh, that sounds good. Wiki. Is there a wiki? Okay, yeah. That was 1935, correct? Why do I keep tabbing? It's over here. Yes, 1935. Okay. So, for anyone who would like to read further on this particular subject matter, I will add this link into the underbar of the description below right now. Now it is added. Anyway, moving on up into 1937, New York Yankees outfielder Joe DiMaggio hit his 20th home run of the season, but first career Grand Slam in an 8-4 win versus the Boston Red Sox. 1945, Labour Party under Clement Attlee won the British parliamentary elections. Results were not declared until July 26. So wow, so that's 21 days. That's a huge time to just sit there with that information. 1946, British Open Men's Golf at the St. Andrews. In first post-World War II championship, Sam Snead won his only Open title, 4 strokes clear of runners-up Johnny Bula and Bobby Look. 1951, Dr. William Shockley invented the Junction Translator in Murray Hill, New Jersey. Or is he from Murray Hill, New Jersey? I don't know. What is the Junction Translator? Let's take a look. Bipolar Junction Translator. It is a type of transistor, not translator, that uses both electrons and electron holes as charge carriers. In contrast, a unipolar transistor, such as a field effect transistor, uses only one charge carrier. Alright, so once again, for further reading, I'm adding this into the underbar. What else happened on this date? 1954, singer Elvis Presley's first professional recording session with guitarist Scotty Moore and bass player Bill Black took place at Sam Phillips Memphis Recording Service in Memphis, Tennessee. The trio recorded 4 songs, including their historic cover of Arthur Big Boy Crudup's song, That's Alright. Moving on up into 1957, Wimbledon men's tennis. Leo Hode successfully defended in crown, beating fellow Australian Ashley Cooper 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. 1958, Wimbledon's women's tennis. U.S. Aletha Gibson defeated Angela Mortimer of England 8-6, 6-2 to successfully defend her title. Moving on up into 1959, Ben Gurion's Israeli government resigned. Once again, this guy looks like Bernie Sanders. He looks like the bird that looks like Bernie Sanders. I'm sorry, Anyway, in 1963, Wimbledon's men's tennis, U.S. Chuck McKinley won his only Grand Slam singles title, beating Fred Stoll of Australia 9-7, 6-1, 6-4. 2 years later, in 1965, Greek-U.S. soprano Maria Callas made her final opera stage appearance in the title role of Giacomo Puccini's Tosca at Covent Garden, London, England. Look at this gentleman in the man. Look, nobody has mustaches that fancy anymore these days. 1968, Wimbledon's men's tennis. Rod Laver defeated Tony Riesch 6-3, 6-4, 6-2 to earn first ever prize money, £2,000 offered at Wimbledon. Huh. Well, I had no idea. Well, it makes sense to offer prize money, but I did not know Wimbledon paid out at apparently this is when they started. Also in 1968, John Lennon sold his psychedelic painted Rolls Royce. Ooh, I gotta check this out. Psychedelic painted Rolls Royce. It's some fancy high right there. Oh, hold on a second. No, I don't want shopping. I want images. I'm not in the market to buy the car. I just wanted to see it. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. If I had the money, I would be in the market to buy that. And that's also part of history. Anyway, moving on up into 1970, during the U.S. Open Women's Golf at Muskogee Country Club, Donna Caponi successfully defended her title by 1 from Sandra Haney and Sandra Spuzich. Hell, it looks like we had a coup d'etat in 1973 in which General Juvenal Habyarimana became president of Rwanda during a military coup d'etat. 365 days later, in 1974, Wimbledon's women's tennis. Chris Evert won her first Wimbledon title, beating Russian Olga Borzova 6-0 and 6-4. 1 year later, 1975, Wimbledon's men's tennis. God, Wimbledon needs to stop. Arthur Ashe became the first black U.S. citizen to win Wimbledon, defeating countryman Jimmy Connors 6-1, 6-1, 5-7, 6-4. I wonder, because everything else is always said, fellow American or fellow U.S. citizen, but fellow countrymen, this is the first time I've seen that, and this is apparently the first black, citizen to win Wimbledon, so I wonder if that wording is there because of that guy, and if so, that's not right. 1975, at Knebworth Festival in England, Pink Floyd debuted their album Wish You Were Here, with pyrotechnics and an exploding plane which fell onto the stage. Oh no, it flew into the stage. Well, that sounds not good. I'm gonna have to look at a video of that. I hope that was on purpose. 1980, Wimbledon's men's tennis. Bjorn Borg defeated John McEnroe 1-6, 7-5, 6-3, 6-7, 8-6 for his 5th straight Wimbledon crown with famous 22-minute, 34-point fourth set title break. Tie break. I'm reading a little too fast. You gotta slow down. Then we kick history in the face with our energy legs. Power Thirst! 1981 Canadian Open Women's Golf. Peter Jackson Classic at the Sumerla Golf Club. Jan Stigmason of Australia won by 1 shot from Pat Bradley and Nancy Lopez. 1985 Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front ZANU-PF, or ZANU-PF, party won re-election in Zimbabwe for a 2nd term. Cool. 1 year later, 1986, Wimbledon's women's tennis. Martina Navratilova defeated Hanna Mandikova 7-6 to 6-3 for her 7th Wimbledon singles title. Dang. 1986, Nancy Reagan cut a red, white, and blue ribbon to reopen the Statue of Liberty after refurbishment. Good. It really is unfortunate, though, that we can't go up into the torch anymore, but I understand why. You have to climb this, really thin, tight ladder up your arm and everything, and it's really a safety hazard. 1987, Wimbledon's men's tennis. Pat Cash of Australia scored his only Grand Slam singles success, 7-6, 6-2, 7-5 over Ivan Lendl. Or Lendl. That's not an I, that's an L. 1987 as well, the A's first baseman, Mark McGwire, became the first rookie to hit 30 home runs before the MLB All-Star Game as Oakland defeated the Red Sox 6-2. Mark McGwire, yeah. Doped up, I believe. 1989, Seinfeld, originally titled The Seinfeld Chronicles, screened its pilot episode starring Jerry Seinfeld, Jason Alexander, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Michael Richards on NBC, the National Broadcasting Channel. 1989 as well, British singer Rod Stewart hit his head on a lighting fixture while on stage and knocked himself out in Pine Knob, Michigan. Oh, whoops. That's very reminiscent to the story from Back to the Future. That's where you got the idea for the flux capacitor, which makes time travel possible. Also in 1989, South African President P.W. Botha visited ANC leader Nelson Mandela. 1989 as well. Man, we're just stuck in 89, aren't we? Get me out! Barry Bonds homers in Pittsburgh's 6-4 loss versus the San Francisco Giants, joining father Bobby Bonds as Major League Baseball father-son home run record holders at 408. That's cool. That's cool. And I know about bonding, father and son with baseball, but that's a whole nother level. That's really cool. Finally, getting out of 89, jumping up into 90, Steffi Graf's record run of 13 consecutive tennis Grand Slam singles finals ended, defeated in Wimbledon semifinals 6-3, 3-6, 6-4 by U.S. Zina Garrison. 2 years later, at Wimbledon's men's tennis, U.S. Andre Agassi won his first of 8 Grand Slam singles titles, beating Goran Ivanisevic of Croatia 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 1-6, and 6-4. Dang, what happened? 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, then 1-6. Did he just trip up? Did he throw the third thing just to have a fourth? I don't know, that's a little weird. 1993, the A's outfielder Ricky Henderson led off both games of Oakland's doubleheader versus Cleveland with homers, the first time since 1913. Wow, so 80 years. 80, right? I think I'm right, yeah, 80 years, yeah. 1993 as well, please don't let us get stuck in 93 now, Icelandic musician Björk released her first solo album debut. Well, fantastic name for an album, especially if it is your debut. Moving on up into 1994, Amazon.com was founded in Valley View, Washington by Jeff Bezos. Boo, Amazon! Boo! Boo, Amazon! Boo! 1997, Wimbledon's women's tennis, 16-year-old Swiss Martina Hingis defeated Jana Novotná 2-6, 6-3, and 6-3 to become the youngest Wimbledon winner in 110 years. Wow. That's pretty cool. 365 days later, 1998, Wimbledon's men's tennis, Pete Sampras retained his title, defeating Goran Ivanisevic 6-7, 7-6, 6-4, 3-6, and 6-2 for his 5th of 7 Wimbledon singles crowns. 1998 as well, Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Roger Clemens collected his 3,000th career strikeout in 2-1 win versus Tampa Bay, the 11th to achieve this milestone. Oh boy. 2003, SARS was declared contained by the World Health Organization after affecting 26 countries and resulting in 774 deaths. Oh man, SARS. Yeesh. 2003 as well, Wimbledon women's tennis, Serena Williams successfully defended her title, beating her older sister Venus 4-6, 6-4, and 6-2. 2008, Wimbledon's women's tennis, Venus Williams successfully defended her title, beating younger sister Serena 7-5 and 6-4. Oh, how the turns have tabled. That's pretty interesting. 5 years apart. 2009, Wimbledon's men's tennis. Are you guys getting tired of Wimbledon too? Like I am. Like this is like the fourth day where Wimbledon is just. Like, I get it. It's Wimbledon season. And before that was that festival that I can't remember already. Anyway, Roger Federer defeated Andrei Roddick of the U.S. 5-7, 7-6, 7-6, 3-6, 16-14. What the hell? For a record 15th Grand Slam singles title. Wow, that escalated immediately. Like, what? I need a beer. Wow, that escalated quickly, you know? 2012, Enrique Pena Nieto of the Institutional Revolutionary Party was elected president of Mexico after a recount following irregularities. That sounds interesting and really familiar. 2012 as well, former Argentine president and dictator Jorge Rafael Videla was sentenced to 50 years imprisonment for the abduction of about 400 babies born to political prisoners. What? He deserves life in consecutive terms. That's human trafficking. Come on. Moving on up into 2015, FIFA Women's World Cup Final. BC place, Vancouver, BC, Canada. Carly Lloyd scored a hat trick as U.S. defeated Japan 5-2. Hey, I have a hat trick. Woo. 2016, FBI released reports stating Hillary Clinton was extremely careless handling classified emails, but doesn't recommend prosecution. We've got to start holding these people accountable. You know, nothing's going to change until we start putting these people behind bars. You know? Give them a reason not to do this shit. 2021, just last year, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he will scrap all COVID-19 restrictions in England from July 19th to become the most unrestricted country in Europe. Yeah, this is after he took away everybody's rights. He forced all these mandates, mask mandates, you know, vaccine mandates, you know, lockdowns and all that stuff. And then people discovered he was hosting parties and everything. So he gave back what he took, and then people accepted it. Hell no! Put this motherfucker in prison! Seriously. I apologize for the language, but seriously. Anyway, before we get into births and deaths, were there any articles that you found interesting? You know, there were some that I did, but let's open a dialogue. Leave a comment in the comment section. Anything you want to add, anything you want to question, you know, anything, you know, whatever. Just become part of the show, one way or another. Anyway, moving on into births, starting us off in the year 1801, we have David Farragut. Was a American admiral. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Born in Champo Station, Tennessee, dying in 1870. Okay, so that's where the Farragut boat got its name from. That guy. All right. 1810, P.T. Barnum, Phineas Taylor Barnum, was a American circus promoter and showman. Barnum and Bailey, born in Bethel, Connecticut, dying in 1891. Yep, this was one of the circus guys. 1853, Cecil Rhodes was born on this date. He was a British businessman, diamond merchant, and imperialist politician who was Prime Minister of Cape Colony from 1890 through 96. He was born in Bishop's Stortford, Hertfordshire, England, dying in 1902. A.E. Douglas was born on this date in 1867. He was an American astronomer and inventor of dendrochronology, or tree ring dating. Oh, well, look at that. He was born in Windsor, Vermont, dying in 1962. Alright, so the counting rings is not as old as I thought. That's a fairly recent thing involving that. 1874, we have Eugene Fischer. He was a Nazi physician for the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute. Born in Karlsruhe, Grand Duchy of Baden, Germany, dying in 1967. 1889, we have Jean Cousteau. He was a French poet, filmmaker, and a painter, Les Enfants Terribles, born in Maisons-Lafayette, France, dying in 1963. What does this look like? I want to take a look at this. Let's see here. Oh, well, is it just a dining? Okay, well, I don't know then. I'm no linguist. Wrong one. Let's see here. Georges Pompidou was born on this date in 1911. He was the president/prime minister of France from 1962 through 74, born in Paris, France, dying in 1974. I wonder if he died in office, because that's when he ended. Let's see, who else was born on this date? Scrolling, rawhide. 1968, Susan Wojcicki was a U.S. businesswoman and CEO of YouTube. Quote, the most important person in advertising, end quote. Yeah, bullshit. Born in Santa Monica County, California. Yeah, so that's why YouTube is in such crap. So, the Californian, of course. Megan Rapinoe, 1985, U.S. pro soccer player, U.S. co-captain, born in Redding, California. Another California. Oh, well, of course. Look at that. Yeah. You can just tell by the hair right there. 1996, Dolly the sheep, the first mammal to be cloned from an adult cell, born in Scotland. As far as first cloned animal to be documented. But yeah, Dolly the sheep was born on this date in 1996. A huge leap publicly for the advancement of science and whatnot. Moving on in the deaths, we have Stamford Raffles in 1826. He was a British statesman and a founder of Singapore. He died at the age of 44 of apoplexy. What is that? Apoplexy. Let's see here. It is a rupture of an internal organ and the accompanying symptoms. The term formerly referred to what is now called a stroke. Nowadays, healthcare professionals do not use this term, but instead specify the anatomic location of the bleeding, such as cerebral, ovarian, or pulmonary, or pituitary. Pituitary. Okay, sorry. Pituitary. Okay. I cannot read today. I can never read, apparently. Like, I'm literate enough to make it look like I'm somewhat intelligent, but it's all a ruse. Anyway, 1937, Chester Greenwood died on this date. He was a U.S. inventor. He invented earmuffs at the age of 15. He died at the age of 78. Well, thank you for keeping our ears warm. Because, 90% of your body heat comes out of your ears. So that's why you want to cover your ears when you're cold, because that's where most of the body heat, It doesn't matter if you wear, you should wear mitts and all that stuff, but first and foremost, the ears, Keep that brain nice and warm. 1945, John Curtin died on this date. Victoria, he was the 14th Prime Minister of Australia, of the Labour Party, serving from 1941 through 45. He died of a heart disease at the age of 60. Oh, that sucks. So 60, 2005 is when he died? If my math is correct, which sometimes it's not. All the time it's not. I don't know math. What's math? What are numbers? I don't know. 1979, Elizabeth Ryan was a U.S. tennis player. Got 26 Grand Slam doubles titles. Holy crap. Died at the age of 87. That's impressive. 2002, Ted Williams, a Baseball Hall of Famer and the last player to bat over 400 in a single season, specifically for the Boston Red Sox. He died at the age of 84. Wow. And that concludes the show for this date in history. Once again, check the underbar, the description, for any links that you may find interesting. For your Dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, do not forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles! Let's go, Brandon.